Hey, what's going on, guys? Wyatt Hertz back with a little more Homefront action from the OnLive game service. Now, this time we're on Crossroads playing some team deathmatch. It is Battle Commander, and I've thrown together a little kit here that was inspired by a comment left to me by FTO OnLive's. You'll know him on OnLive as Fucktardo. Asking me about infantry abilities, what were good infantry abilities to use, asking me about Ice Cold, and I didn't give him a great answer, but kind of a rule of thumb that I follow, is if I'm going to do some rifleman work where I'm aiming down sights a lot, I put on steady aim, and I couple that with quick draw so that I can aim down sights quickly. If I'm going to do some running and gunning with an SMG or even with an assault rifle or an LMG, then I'll throw steady aim on there and throw that in with tactical reload. They work well together. That's how you want them, you want to couple them together when you're going to do running and gunning. If you're just going to throw other stuff in there, always try and throw stuff that works with your play style for that kit or for that loadout, for that match, what you're planning to do and how you're planning to tackle it. Going to Ice Cold, talking about Ice Cold for a second. Basically, I only use Ice Cold on my M200 sniper kit. It only keeps you off of thermal, so it's great on a sniper kit to do counter sniper work against other enemy M200 users. This is awful. Look at this. What am I thinking? Shooting it. I hate seeing a guy up on that rock. I end up going after Domski a few times on that rock. That was horrible because that SMG is terrible from that range, and I get flanked for my trouble. But finally, I do end up getting him here, but I'm going to go back and finish talking about this Ice Cold kit. So Ice Cold, great for taking you off thermal, great for doing counter sniper work against M200 users, and great for kind of giving you a little extra time against thermal hunters, so maybe you can line up that shot with your sniper rifle. So that's why I use it in the sniper kit. That's the only kit I use it in, but I thought, well, inspired by the comment, I thought, well, maybe it would work really well in a little silenced SMG kit. So that's what I have. It is the Diablo SMG silenced. I do have Ice Cold, do have Ghost, and I do have tactical reload in there. So I'm off of every kind of detection device imaginable. I'm off of thermal. I'm off of the radar. Personally, UAV sweeps. My sound is suppressed. So I'm kind of going dark. And I thought, to round it out, the thermal goggles might really work well with the kit, kind of get you into that kind of Splinter Cell, Sam Fisher, infiltrator type of mindset. I don't use thermal, haven't used it much in the game, don't like the look of it in this game, find it difficult to kind of see targets at certain times, obviously when it's a little bit brighter, they can get washed out in the sunlight and stuff like that. So I do come in the tank here after dying, and it is going to be up one of those rounds. Planes, trains, and automobiles. I come in a little bit of everything. The tank, the LAV, and the scout will all make an appearance for my end of things. And I do die a lot this round. It's a decent kill count at the end, 36 and 9, 4-1 KDI, so it's not bad. And honestly, I'm a little out of my comfort zone on this map with running and gunning. I don't like it. There's a lot of open areas. I'm not comfortable wielding the SMG here, but I don't do too bad with it. And here you can see, it's not just an EMP blast, it's a bloody one of those glitched out perma EMPs, and my tank is stuck. Homemade's in there on the secondary cannon, trying to put some fire up on Decent Devil as he circles around us relentlessly, chipping away at the tank, doing a lot of damage over an extended period of time, and we're just stuck there. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting to see if the EMP will actually wear off. Waited for Decent to kind of make a pass, and when he was circling, I thought, now that would be a good time to hop out. So I finally do get my ass out of there. It's a shame the tank went to waste like that. I don't know why that happens. That EMP blast, that perma blast with the EMP happens. If anybody knows, leave it in a comment. I know it's just a glitch. I'd hate to see it if guys were actually doing it intentionally, though. I don't like stuff like that. Not a big fan of glitches in games, especially when guys exploit them. Anyway, coming up here, I throw the thermal on, find Propaganda, sitting in that bush there, probably with a great line of sight all the way, through that little enclosed area with the stairs. Probably a great line of sight all the way through to the sniper mount. So it was good I found him. But coming over here, I do take a little fire from Decent Devil's chopper, and then Link puts me down. There was a lot of give and take between Link and I this round, if you've been paying attention. And Decent, can't say enough about that guy. He's a great player. I've played with him lots of times in the past. So he's working the map as is expected. Anyway, my death there prompts me to come in the LAV. It's time to put Devil's chopper to rest. Time to kill the Devil, And he waits to pop the flares a little bit late there, and he does take that first missile on his tail end. And then I just kind of wait, patiently waiting there, sitting there waiting for the flares to end, counting them down. If you are, trying to get a target lock on a chopper that's popping flares, or if you have your proximity launcher out, don't fire mindlessly at it. Just count the flares down. There will be 4 flare blasts, and it will last 5 seconds. And depending on how far away from you the target is, you can probably launch that missile just as the 4th blast comes out, and you'll probably do damage by the time the missile finally gets there. So now here I am at the back stretch, this back end of the map, in behind the water tower, doing a little damage. I don't like close quarter combat in the LAV, surprisingly, you know. It's just if you get too close to guys and if you're on a bad angle on the ground, you cannot lower the cannon far enough to actually get a kill shot on them, you know, so it can be a little tricky in those moments. Anyway, Decent with his chopper scrapped, you will see him, he does come up the road here in an LAV of his own, kind of holds me at bay, and then right here I get hellfired by A201, and he puts me down, you know, scraps the LAV, puts it out of commission. So I'm forced to go back on foot, do a little more running and gunning. And even, you can see Propaganda was rolling in with a Rhino by the looks of things to take out that LAV, but it's already down. You know, between Decent and A201, they finished me off. And I can't really go after Decent's LAV. You know, I only have the C4s in there. So they're not going to do too much damage unless he's taking some fire. Now you will see Paul Kuzmar here. After playing a few rounds with him, I notice he really does like the drop shot. And so if you do encounter him in battle, just be aware he's probably going to go prone right away. So aim at his ankles, and you'll probably get the headshot on him, or do some serious damage to him before he can actually get the shot on you. Just be aware of it. He will drop shot, probably 75 to 95% of the time. Coming back in after getting killed by Link. Quick little hip fire work on Assassin Midu, and then a knife there on Paul Kuzmar. And then I did see the friendly fall down here, so I was ready for whoever was rushing around the corner. It just happened to be the devil himself, you know, and I did put him down with a little hip fire, then followed up with another kill on Link, and then Assassin Midu as well, put him down. Now Domski rolling around in what looks like a tank. It was kind of hard to tell there. Sounded like a tank to me, rather than an LAV. And right here, that's a perfect example of how Paul Kuzmar likes to shoot. He will go prone, go straight for the drop shot, and he paid for it there. Avat, you know, I did see his thermal silhouette kind of hugging that car, and this is the downside for me with thermal, is that when that second enemy ran in behind him, his silhouette kind of got washed out by that thermal coloring, you know, that ran in behind him. I ended up prioritizing the wrong target and paid for it there. But I do come in the scout. It is on ace. And I did see Propaganda there, and I circle back to finish him off. I don't want him sitting back there like a cancer, eating away at the team, you know, because he will do a lot of damage from locations like that. And then I just start working the area here. Now, this is a loss. It is a really close game. It is a great game, and you will see why we end up losing here. And this little battle between myself and a couple LAVs really is it was entertaining, and I thought was worthy of putting up on the channel. So that's why it ends up here. Domski, and there is his tank. He has taken some serious damage because I did finish him down, or finish him off. I scrapped him pretty quickly, you know, with some meager scout fire. And there's Decent running around in his goddamn LAV. He's pushed right out of bounds. He's scrambling, trying to get away from me, trying to get the kill on Griswold. Now I'm getting target locked, you know. He's just hugging the perimeter, working that little lake, that little lake area. With the flares gone, I'm forced to go and take cover from that missile lock. And I go and hide behind my hiding spot, the bridge back here. Now right here, I did hear the enemy chopper warning, you know, and I swiveled my head up to kind of find him. It throws me off the line. I wanted to go onto the bridge. At the last second, I'm forced to pull out. Wasn't comfortable with that line I had, especially on ace settings. If I had bumped in there, I probably would have gone all squirrely and crashed. So despite the missile lock coming in, you can see it that way at the distant end of the map. Despite that missile lock coming in, I do try and take out Assassin Midu's chopper. I don't want to be dealing with ground targets that are targeting me and air targets at the same time, so I tried to go after the weakest one first. Make my way over to Domski finally, and he does end up bailing out of here. And looking back at this game, how this played out, this really pissed me off, because he ends up getting out of there, you know. I'm still getting the missile locked from Decent Devil's LAV, because he's at the other end. They had me kind of split here, you know. So with that LAV still salvaged over there, that is what cost us the round. You will see why in time. And Decent Devil, I'm forced to go after him. He's flame, and he's in trouble over here. But if the last second, you'll notice, he does bail out of there just before the LAV explodes and hops in a friendly one. Jacks the friendly ride that was sitting there. starts running away, looking for cover, just trying to get out of the fire that's coming his way. He does get in behind this trailer, just hugging the inbounds area, the perimeter of the map, just barely staying in there. He does have a guy working the secondary cannon, trying to target me. I pop the flares. I'm just praying I can finish this thing off before I end up going down myself. And I finally do. And then I'm still getting this missile lock. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Domski, that son of a bitch, came back to life and hopped into his old LAV, the one I had to leave sitting there because of Decent's LAV, and does put me down. And when I come back in here in a new scout, you will see it's 99 to 99, and now 10,000 to 9,900. And we do end up losing, and really it was because of that, how that LAV battle played out with Decent and Domski. And but anyway, it was a good game. It was a fun game to watch, fun game to call even. And so a 36-9 for me, a pretty good round. Decent Devil on the other side with a 17-9, good round for him. So guys, thanks for watching the vid. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like or a comment. Subscribe to the channel if you're planning to come back. And until next time, remember why it hurts. Later.